I'm Dr. Revels, and you're listening to the Revelation Podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast, and let me know that you are listening. Please share this with somebody. Share it with a friend, colleague, a family member. Share it with somebody you hate. Doesn't really matter to me. I just want this channel to grow. And remember, we're all family and friends here, so you can call me Rev. And since we all are family and friends, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell an enemy that you are listening to the Revelation Podcast. The topic of today's verse is one grain of sand. One grain of sand. Let's get into it. Happy birthday to me. Between the last verse and this verse, I had a birthday. Won't tell you the exact date, but I had a birthday and I'm happy about it. Happy to be alive. One more trip around the sun. Yay, me. I have loved ones who have poured into me, who have said happy birthday to me, who have reached out to me. And it's been great. It's been wonderful. And I'm happy to be alive. I thank my God that I'm still here. I thank my God that it's a part of the plan that I still get to see another year. And I made it around the trip it made a trip around the sun, I should say, over 40 times. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that is, but it's okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about the perspective that I have. I'm a very reflective person, as you all know, here on the REVELSations podcast, but I like to be reflective even more around my birthday. It's a time to reflect and think and how much we've grown. And I want to talk about the perspective of life and how we view this thing. And as I said on the previous verse, the right speed, we are one grain of sand on a large beach. So let's get into some numbers, not necessarily some dictionary definitions, so we're all on the same page here. So I looked it up and I asked, how many people have roughly lived in the history of the world? And it's about 117 billion people. As of 2025, people who do census and demographics estimate that about 117 billion people have lived. Our current global population is about 8.1 billion, meaning that 7% of all humans who have ever lived are alive today. That's actually pretty astonishing if we think about it. In the history of the whole world, history of the entire world, between 5 so 50,000 BC all the way to 2025. The population of the world has estimated going between 2 and 5 million people all the way to 8.1 billion. And it says that everybody in the history of the world was to stand in line. One out of every 14 people in that line would be us, would be alive today. And that's pretty amazing. And you can't even begin to think about how much a billion is. It is said that 1 million seconds, we're going to take million, 1 million seconds, we amass 1 million seconds in 11.5 days, around 11 days, 13 hours, and 46 minutes. But a billion seconds is 31.69 years, 31 years, 8 months, and a few days. And there are 8 billion people on the earth now and 117 billion people on the earth. Why am I repeating this? Because I wanted to give us context about our one grain of sand. As I said in the last verse, we are all just one grain of sand on the beach. That's how I imagine humans. And even though we're thankful and we're happy, when we think about the number that we are one grain of sand on a beach of 8 billion, in reality, a beach of 117 billion. How insignificant we really are. And it doesn't mean that we're not important to our family and friends and our loved ones, but it does bring this into perspective that oftentimes we sit a little bit too high on the horse. We're thinking a little bit too much of ourselves. And I find that in the world today. And I believe you probably do as well. We have things like Instagram, TikTok, all of social media, and it's this braggadocious, look at me, look how special I am. And while I believe that everybody is special in their own right, we do understand that our life happens in a blink. The earth has been around for millions and millions of years, scientists guesstimate. And we don't get many years on this earth. If we think about the life expectancy in 2025, most people don't live to see 80 years. In fact, in the United States, there's only two demographics that seem to get a life expectancy over 80 years: Hispanics and Asians. My white brothers and sisters get about 75 years. People of my hue get about 72 to 73 years. Native American Indians get about 67 years. In this greater scheme of life, of this earth that's been around for millions of years, and our life happens in a flash. And I like to think about it this way. I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you know your mom? Most of us do. Do you know your grandmother? Most of us do. Do you know your grandmother's aunts? Do you know your grandmother's uncles? Think about that for a second. Your mom's aunts and uncles are your great aunts and uncles. Just got to follow me on this. Your grandmother's aunts and uncles are your great great aunts and uncles. It's only three generations removed. Do you know them? Do you know who they are? Do you know their names? Did they ever know you? The point I'm getting at is we're forgotten about in 2 to 3 generations. And we're doing all this shine the light on me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And for what? What is the purpose? What is the goal? What are we really here to do? I heard once, I'm just trying to place my 1 grain of spiritual sand on this beach and be a part of the collective. I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, but I also understand how insignificant I am. Think about it. You've been to the beach before and you've laid in the beach all day. You've laid in the sand. It's been great. And then you go get in your car and there's sand in your car. And if you could count those grains of sand, there are probably millions, millions of grains of sand in your car. Did that impact the beach? Did the fact that those grains of sand will no longer be on the beach, does that make the beach any less beautiful? Does that make the beach any less vibrant? Does that make the beach any less fun? Absolutely not. And that's how we are as we pass through this world. It's not about being morbid, but it is about bringing things into perspective and understanding that we're just part of a larger situation. And we're all here trying to do the best that we can. Or at least I would say it would be best if we're trying to do the best that we can. We should. I don't like that word should necessarily, but we should do the best that we can. So as I took another trip around the sun, I began to think, hmm, what legacy can I leave? Of course, I got the Revelation podcast. I don't have any children of my own, but I have some students that I pour into. I have some nieces and nephews that I pour into, and that's all well and good. But in a flash, 1 generation, 2 generations, 3 generations at the most, I might be forgotten. And there's some great people in the world who have had their stories written down in the history books, but those are people only few and far between. And when I think about it, how many people have done great things and they weren't recorded? If we think about the greatest influencers of the world, from good and bad, people who have harmed many people, who have helped many people, those are few and far between. We can't really count on one hand how many people really stand out in the history of the world, like super stand out in the history of the world. And even if we do count them, or we are able to count them, how many more did great things like that or negative things like that, and they weren't given credit for it? All I'm saying is this life is fleeting. This life goes by fast. And I want us to spend our time thinking about the perspective of life, that we're 1 grain of sand on this entire beach. And instead of grandizing ourselves, instead of thinking that we're so great, how about we think that we're a part of the collective and trying to make this whole thing a beach? And even though 1 grain of sand doesn't matter over time, 2 grains of sand, 1 million grains of sand, but when we think about it, over time, all those grains of sand keep the beach going. We keep the earth going. So if we can take our one piece of sand and make it the best that we can make it, and not try to make it about us, but make it about the collective, I think the world would be a better place. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help people be the best that I know that they can be. And it doesn't mean that I have it right, but it does mean my heart is for people to be better. My heart is for me to be better. If you listen to the REVELSations podcast, you know that a lot of times when I'm speaking about these things, I'm really speaking to myself as well. That's why I say we. That's why I say us. That's why I say I. I rarely say you, because we're all in this together. We're all pieces of sand. We're all grains of sand on this beach we call the world. And we're just trying to make it as beautiful as we can. That's all I have for you on the REVELSations podcast today. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. You can contact me directly, REVELSationspodcast@gmail.com. I am because we are. Hallelujah, holla back. Peace.
Yeah, the revelations now televised. A platform for you and I. An outlook with full heart and clear eyes. Now, these are just my thoughts. Truth on how I feel on these topics I reveal. Please know my toll, I always keep it real. Can't face the word if you can't face facts. For your time, just open up your mind. That's it, just live, think big, now take that. With God in me, this here was made by design. Yeah, the revelation will be televised. REVELSations.